Hey pickles, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you are not new, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back to join me for another video. Today's video is this super fun PLOUISE inspired eye look that I did using the new Watch the Queen Conquer palette. Let's jump straight in, starting off as always with the PLOUISE base. This is in room 2 and I used a flat brush to apply a thin but still opaque layer to my lid. You guys know I swear by this. It gives maximum colour payoff, really helps your shadows reach their full potential and makes your eyeshadow look last all day or all night or both if you need. Don't forget to shop using my link, which is down in the description when you grab yours. The Watch the Queen Conquer palette unfortunately doesn't have a black shade, but I'll let it off because it's awesome enough without it. But I wanted to start off with a black, so I grabbed Noir from the Beautybay Age of Opulence palette. This is a really good black. I find Beautybay's formula really good when it comes to the darker shades. So this was my black eyeshadow of choice and I just placed it down first of all into the crease using a little Morphe bullet brush, and then in a minute you'll see me blend out the harsh edges. I started off little by little and built it up slowly. This black really is pigmented, so take your time with it. As I said, here I am blending out those harsh edges with a teeny tiny Morphe blending brush just to really soften and diffuse the edges of that black colour so it can blend a lot more easier as we move on into the pink shades. If you skip this step, the look is not going to turn out its best, so please don't skimp on this step. Take a couple of extra minutes and get it super soft, and it is best to use a small brush just for maximum control. And here she is. You cannot tell me that you do not find this palette sexy as hell. So I took the pink side and the shade C's, and this is really going to help build that depth and intensity in the crease. It's super dark and it looks like it's overpowering the black at this point, but that's okay. We will come back down and redefine that black, but for now I just used a small blending brush to pack and blend it around the edges of that black, keeping it quite tight but definitely letting the edges of that dark pink shade peek out and be seen. It's definitely one of my favourite shades, so you're probably going to be seeing it quite a lot. Positions, which is the shade I'm going in with now, is also a favourite. It's a gorgeous raspberry pink shade and it blends seamlessly into that previous C's shade. So I'm taking a small Mitchell blending brush here, a little bit fluffier, and I'm going in with a very light hand and just feathering that around to continue that blend outwards and upwards towards the brow. After that, I'm taking shade Checkmate, which is a little bit more coral than my camera is picking it up. I am playing around with my setup at the minute, so hopefully we will get things a bit more true to life as the year goes on. But I just used that as sort of the last shade, the transition shade, and I really blew it out at the outer corner as well to give a super smoky look to this. And once that was on, I'm now going to work all the way back down, back through those shades, back from lightest to darkest, and just re-intensify each step. This is super important to remember to do because as we move through our shades, the previous shades can get lost, and that is the absolute last thing we want. The key to a really bold, intense eye look is just revisiting the shades and layering them up until you have the ultimate level of intensity that you desire for your eye look. To cut the crease, I'm going to use the new PLOUISE cut carver, and I am fully converted to this. It is unreal. I thought it was just going to be overpriced Vaseline. I think a lot of us did. It's not. It literally melts away the makeup on impact. There's no having to push the product in or wait for it to work. It is super quick, super smooth. It enables you to get the crispest lines. You can see I'm barely actually putting any pressure on, and then once the product is on, all you do then is wipe off where you have put it and it reveals a crisp, clean lid space. What more could you want? This step's optional and quite frankly a little bit cheeky, but if you want the best cut crease, try it. So I am taking a black gel liner on an eyeliner brush, and I am sort of tracing around where we've cut the crease and then blending it out, and this just makes sure that cut crease is super dark and super intense, so when we put the brighter shades against it, it adds ultimate contrast. And honestly, if you try this step, you will see a huge difference. Of course, because we're going back in with eyeshadow, I'm taking the Rumour 2 base again and just following that line that we have stenciled with the cut carver, and you can see just how crisp that line is. Honestly, please give the cut carver a go if you enjoy crease work. And then I'm taking the Acid Rain paint in Glow Girl, and this is going on the front part of the cut crease. It seems a bit strange, but you will see in a second when we go in with shadow, but this is basically gonna make it easier for us to do that little ombre double cut that we've got going on in this eye look. Adding a similar colour paint at this stage just gives us a little bit less work. We don't have to fight so much to build the intensity of that darkest shade, and it just makes everything move along that little bit quicker and a bit more flawlessly. I just worked back through those shades that we used in the crease, going from darkest at the inner corner to lightest at the end of that cut crease, but I left a little skin tone gap and used the shade Dominate just to set that, because remember the P. Louise base does need to be set with shadow or powder, and it helped just blend that Checkmate shade as well. With the cut carver again, now all I did was take away any excess shadow or base just to leave a semi-thin curve of that ombre. You want it to be enough that people can see it, but not so thick that it dominates the eye look, and it just adds a real visual interest element to this look, and it's super fun. Again, just using that cut carver to stencil out and then a wipe to clear off the product. After you've used a wipe, you can take a cotton bud or a tissue or whatever you prefer, and just make sure there's no cut carver left on the lid, just so it doesn't break down the next lot of product as we put it on. And again, you guessed it, we're going in with more shadow after this, so of course it is, for the third and final time, the P. Louise base in Rumour 2. Can you tell it's a favourite? You know it's a favourite if this is not your first time here. If it is your first time, get used to seeing it. At this stage, I like to take more of a concealer buffer brush and just make sure I'm patting off any excess product so we don't get clumpy gathering of base in the creases of the eye, especially if you have hooded eyes. And then yet again, I'm just working with the same brushes, the same shades as we used in the crease, and bringing that diagonally across the lid, but making sure to leave a good proportion of skin tone shade, and you'll see why in a minute, because that skin tone shade is what's going to offer the contrast to the deeper colours that we've used in this look. As I said, I want to reiterate it again, leave some of that skin tone shade. Now I'm going in with the other side of the palette, and I know it's not in focus, but look at that shine. This shade is Victory, and it is absolutely stunning. It's like a sheer sort of wet look base, and then this beautiful greeny gold reflect. It's really unique and it just looks stunning. Again, we're adding visual interest by using the contrasting shade of green versus the pink, and then I'm just going back through those matte shadow shades just to blend everything together and make it really cohesive. And Victory works really well for this because, as I said, it isn't an opaque base. For the under eye, I'm taking Glow Girl Acid Rain paint again, and I'm first applying this into the lower waterline. Yes, these paints are completely eye safe. They are safe to do this with, and they are really effective as well. And then I also smudge it through the root of the lower lashes here, and then blend it out with a flat brush or a shader brush, and this is just gonna really give us a nice smoky under eye. And again, because we're going in with a similar shade of paint to the shadow, we haven't got to spend as much time building up that intensity as we smoke it out here at the very outer corner and join that crease to the under eye. Just keeping it simple, using the exact same brushes, the exact same shades, and making sure the join between the crease and the under eye area is seamless and it looks like one look and not two separate pieces. A little bit more of Dominate in the inner corner, just blend it out slightly to add a bit of brightness and balance. And then this step is optional, but I've been loving doing it in eye looks recently. It's really effective, and I am just creating a very Stacey Marie-esque straight line with a makeup wipe, taking off where I don't want the shadow and then marking that out with a little bit more eye base or concealer. This just adds another element to the eye look, a bit more visual interest, which is the name of the game. And these little touches are what really brings your look from zero to hero, so to speak. All that's left at this point is to throw on your favourite pair of lashes, put your base on, and then go out and rock this stunning look. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. I had so much fun filming this look. It's definitely a favourite. Make sure you tag me if you recreate. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, pickles. Stay safe.